TSU News Network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bench Press from the Palais Show.
Studios
here at TSU. My name is Scott Wallace. We did thank Taylor Powell for that news break. And Jason, it's just me and you today, man. And I'm kind of lonely a little bit.
We're good. We manage.
Of course, Jason Sales in the house. Jason, we appreciate you holding it down last week, Monday, while I was when we were on our way to Columbia State Community College for the game. And appreciate you, brother.
I'm glad it was only an hour because I was struggling those last 5 minutes.
Well,
not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, Tony Thompson with you, so he'd have took over.
Oh yeah, he would have had it. I would have gladly gave it to him because the body was wearing down on energy.
Oh yeah, you were sick. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, you sound much better.
Took my Mucinex.
Yeah, you sound much better. But we're glad that you're back. Of course, we have the main man Ladarius on the wheels of steel engineering today once again doing his thing. He the man that I heard around here.
It's evident. I mean, we see it. We see it. People come out of their way to make sure Ladarius sees it.
And then he has theme music. When he comes in,
he does.
You know he's coming from a mile away, and we knew he was here before he got here.
Open the door and Ladarius is coming in. We heard the theme music.
Yes, we appreciate Mr. Richie allowing us to have the best of the best on engineering for us. But
it's only right.
Yeah. The best show on NTSU and the best engineer.
Yeah. Is that an award coming our way?
Yeah, we should.
Are we eligible? We probably not. Are we eligible? Good.
Well, if we are,
we'll pick out the suits.
Yeah, definitely. We'll let you pick out the suits.
I'll coordinate myself.
All right. Lot of stuff going on in sports, of course, and as always, it's a wonderful time of the year. Of course, only thing that's not going on right now is baseball, but we all right with that. Everything else is pretty much going on. Hockey and football, of course, and basketball, college basketball starting up, and NBA basketball in full swing. High school basketball starting tomorrow. And then, of course, football, playoffs, football, NFL, college, all the things going on. And, Jason, this is one of the best times of the year. It's cold outside, but you can sit inside and watch some good sports.
Yeah, depending on what you like to put in your mug or your cup, you can enjoy your weekend and enjoy your night. And like you said, you can find a sporting event on pretty much every night on television. Yes. It may not be on the exact same channel, but like I said, college basketball, NBA, hockey, name it. It's on. You might, if you get bored or you can't find anything, go look up rugby. It's warm. It's warm in the southern hemisphere, so they're playing rugby down there.
Australian rules football when they score, they do that.
Yeah, I love it. That's the best part of rugby. When they score, they come out. And
I love it. But the college football poll is out and just came out, and it's been a little bit changing with the Auburn loss, and Auburn falls all the way down to 9 after their loss in the top 4. Of course, that's all that matters now is the top 4 pretty much, because those are the ones that be in the bowl championships. Mississippi State holds on to number 1. Florida, where they have 48 votes, first place votes, and also Florida State is first. It's in second place. They have 12 first place votes. They're the only 2 major college teams that are undefeated. Oregon still hanging in there at 3rd, and now Alabama moves up to 4th, and it's dangerous when the Alabama Crimson Tide is in that 4-team slate.
Yeah, and again, what's even more crazy about it is you think, oh, they got the LSU game over, they got over that hurdle. No, they still have Mississippi State to play. And so what's going to be crazy? And then the SEC championship
and Auburn.
Yeah. So nothing's been resolved yet. You know, like you said, that especially this season, the SEC West is just they've literally cannibalized themselves. Had 4 teams undefeated for a while. Ole Miss beats Alabama. Then it just starts going from there. And now, like you said, you got 2 teams in the top 4, and you had at one time you had 3 teams in the top 4 from the same conference. And here it comes. Everybody's gonna have to start beating each other. Best case scenario for the SEC now, I think at this point, they have to kind of hope Alabama beats Mississippi State, and Mississippi State doesn't tumble down that far.
Right.
Now, if Mississippi State can't handle that loss, like Ole Miss, they took that first loss and then came back with a second loss, and they're pretty much out of the picture now. You'd have to hope maybe that if Mississippi State loses to Alabama, they maybe tumble down to 5 or 6, and they have to, then they can hope on another team losing so they can get back in the top 4. But again, This playoff system it's still flawed, but man, it's adding to some craziness in the college football.
It really is. And I was thinking once you were saying that, how far, if Alabama does beat Mississippi State, how far would they go down?
Right.
Would they go down to 4? Would TCU move up? Would Baylor move up? Arizona State with a huge win over Notre Dame.
Big.
It's crazy. I wouldn't want to be the ones voting for it, and I'm glad. I don't really have a college team that I follow. I like the SEC,
right?
But I'm just glad I don't have a college team. It's just good to sit back and watch to see what happens, and then root for the SEC team that's in it for me. That's how I do it.
I'm the same way. I since a kid I liked Miami, so they've had quite a few down years here recently, but they're still the youth, so you still like the orange or green when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got family in Alabama, so I appreciate the way that the Crimson Tide play football. Cheer for Vanderbilt because they're the home team.
Yeah.
They're back in that old familiar situation we used to see in the Commodores.
Same old Vandy.
Yeah. But like you said, I don't. If you had to say, who is your college team, I couldn't give you one. So I'm the same way. I'm a SEC homer, and I just want to see good football, which is why I like TCU in the Big 12. They play a unique brand of football in the Big 12, and even now they've changed it from what they usually do. They don't have that. It's no longer the turnaround, hand it off
to LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, and with guys like Andy Dalton and Pascal down there. Now they've got Trevon Boykin, who was a former running back who. I don't know why he's not getting any more Heisman love than he is right now.
Right, because he's at TCU. But to talk about what's going to be on the show in our second segment, is going to be Jim Fay, the coach of East Nashville basketball. Of course, he led his team 3 out of the last 4 years. They've been down to Murfreesboro, and they were kind of the team that everybody was looking at until the second guest that we're going to have, Isaiah Upton, the point guard. He got hurt playing football. Of course, he is a committee to MTSU. In our third segment, of course, the Cumberland State basketball segment with Brian Penny Collins. We've had him on. Yeah, you heard of that dude a little bit.
I heard about it.
He's going to be on at 4:30. Then after that, it's going to be the Maplewood basketball. Ty Wilson, a good friend of ours, is going to come on and talk a little bit about this season. And he's talking about how young they're going to be. You're going to get to hear about that when he calls in. And in the second hour, the first segment is going to be, we're going to talk a little college football. But I think we may, we're gonna call it a college football. I just got a call, and everybody wants to be on the bench press now.
Of course,
they calling me to be on the bench press.
Yeah, I've got asking the student center about one of your guys today.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, tell them everybody is welcome. But Jay Smith, the coach of assistant coach over in Reinhardt, he's a good friend of the program. He called me, hey man, we're gonna be playing TSU this week, so I need to be on the show, so we're gonna try to get him in sometime between 5 and 5:30. He's in practice. I said, you okay? You gonna be in practice? He said, yeah. He get to hit the basketballs in the background, so he's excited about being back in the Music City this weekend on Friday for TSU's initial game. And a lot of teams have been playing, but it'll be TSU's first game against Reinhardt this Friday. And then we're going to talk a little headlines in the sixth segment. Then probably, I don't know, it may be Jay Smith or it may be free weight or something like that. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to roll with it. And then that last segment is going to be one of my favorite ones because we're going to have Cameron Lewis on, who played for Freed Hardeman. Cam Lewis. He's been in his studio. He's been on the phone. We're going to find out what's going on with him. He hit 22 points the other day in the first game of the season, so he's already ready to go. But,
he's gearing up. That's all. Yeah, 22 is gear up.
Yeah, he said that's just him warming up. He probably was trying to see, probably they had 10 assists too. We never know.
The 22 points were heat check points.
right. Because he can fill it up. But just a lot going on, and Jason, is just a great time of year. I love this time of year for sports right now.
Yeah, like you said, the only major sport that's not going on is baseball, and that only ended within the past 10 days.
Right.
And I don't think we even mentioned anything about it. The Giants with another
congratulations,
another
Giants.
victory. Again, I wish the Royals would pull it out just because I want to see something new. And
but
my mom lived in Kansas City, so I know she was going that route. But
Baumgartner, man, he lights out.
That's the great of any playoff system. We'll see it in college, which. We'll see how that goes. But every year in every playoff, there's always one guy who he's a fringe talent who shows up and makes this amazing, performance. And it was Madison Bumgarner this year. And if you would have asked, in April, name some pitchers from the Giants. Oh, of course, Tim Lincecum, Hudson, the guys like that.
Right.
Bumgarner's name would have been mentioned, but if you would have said, come October, this guy's gonna have lights out performance, everybody been like, oh yeah, I guess bet. So. We'll see, and that's just how it always goes. You always have that one guy who paycheck time coming, and he's gonna get the big bucks. We know they're throwing money out to Major League Baseball pitchers, so I don't know how much longer he has left on his contract, but I guarantee when it's time to re-up or go see the arbitrator, he's gonna be sitting all right. His accountant will be pretty happy with it.
It will be. We're gonna take a break and we'll be right back with Jim Fay, the head coach of East Nashville, on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
All in together now. We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll rope it up,
cause we know how to jump.
we'll roll it out,
Cause we know how to skate.
we'll cut it down,
Cause we know what to eat.
we'll swap it out.
We eat healthy stuff.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
Yeah, well come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll ball it up,
Cause we know how to hoop.
we'll mess around,
Cause we know how to play.
we'll drop it down,
Cause we know how to dance.
we'll veg it up.
It's unite and dance.
Can we do it?
Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy. Remember, that's We Can. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
This is Scott Wallace, and listen to the Hour of Power, the Bench Press Sports Show.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
And we're back here on the bench press. And on the line, we have coach of the East Nashville Eagles, Coach Jim Fay. Coach, what's going on this day?
Not much. Just trying to get a little practice in, trying to get ready for the season.
I already know that about you. And your season starts off this November 13th against White House Heritage. How are things going so far, Coach?
Well, we're doing okay. We're working on some different things, trying to get some younger guys adjusted to new roles, and it's going pretty well.
All right, you got some guys on the team that's coming back this year. Of course, Thomas Booker is probably going to be one of the top players in the state. Torrey McGee, also Isaiah Blacksmith. Talk about some other guys on the team that we have maybe not have heard of that's going to get a lot of playing time this year, Coach.
Well, I think Leonardo Holmes. He's a junior guard, and I think he's really coming on. He could be one of my better defensive players, and I'm hopeful that he is because he can also score. In a lot of years, I have my best defensive player is not a scoring threat, but I think we call him Naughty. I think Naughty can be a real bonus offensively as well as defensively. Dominic Washington's another post player that we have, and I think this is going to be a big year for him. I believe he's going to have an opportunity to do some scoring for us, and I know he plays hard, and he makes it not fun for people on offense when they come to the basket.
Well, we already know because his mother, Princess, is excited about this year. You have a great – how you like that following you have? We had the ladies of the East Nashville ladies in our studios last year sometime. How about the follow that you have from the East Nashville community? How is that?
It's great. We have great parents, and that just goes to show you why we have great kids. And this would not be fun, and it'd probably not be possible if I didn't have good kids. You have to be able to be coached, and you have to understand some things, and our kids do that. They take the coaching, they take the responsibility when they make mistakes, and they don't spend too much time celebrating when they get things right because they know that it's just a play away from going from hero to GOAT. So they're always ready to play, and these parents have been great.
Right. And two guys I want to talk about a little bit. I know you got to get back to practice, but I'd be remiss if I want to talk about your assistant coach, Avery Patton, how important he is especially in that championship game, how he took over when you fell ill. Talk about his role on the team and how important it is to have him on the bench with you. Well,
he's a tremendous asset to our program. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around. He was a college All-American. He was the Player of the Year senior year over at Trevecca, and he understands leadership, and that's probably one of the things we're really working hard to get going in the right direction and cultivating some leaders. We lost Isaiah Upton, and we really need somebody to become a leader on the floor. And he understands that responsibility and that role, and he's a tremendous asset with that. And he's also a great mentor to these young men that we have. And, everything with Avery's positive until he starts beating my head in, and I guess I have to endure some of that.
And now you mentioned Isaiah Upton. Of course, I saw you all Saturday, and he was standing up, and he wasn't on crutches or anything. I was glad to see that. Talk about him, missing him, and the guys, how they feel about Isaiah not going to be able to play because of an injury he had during the football season.
Well, it's just real disappointing, and brings the team down, the kids down to a certain degree. But it's like I told them, Isaiah's the one that's got the worst. He's got the worst end of it because he's not going to get to play his senior year of basketball.
Right.
And it's tough. He's not on crutches. He's scheduled to have surgery in about 2 weeks, so he'll be back 100% for football at MTSU next year. And we all want the best for him. So it's like I told everybody, hey, we're going to play. He's going to be here to support us, and he'll in essence be another one of my coaches because he's still a big part of our team. And it's just like I said, it's just disappointing. But as I told Isaiah, the best thing that he has to look back on is his last high school basketball game.
Yeah.
It was a state championship game, and he dropped 18 points and played tremendously. So got a lot of positive memories. Just it's just one of those learning experiences and things that's going to make him stronger in life.
How'd you enjoy it? Now I went out. I was talking. The first time I ever been to Motlow was this Saturday, and I had never been out there. It's tough getting out there. The tough part is getting out there, but the game was really a great game. How do you feel about watching a guy that you coached for 4 years, Terry Holden, how he played and how that game went? You were one. I told him it was the who's who was there. I saw Kermit Davis. I saw the assistant coach from Auburn, Tony Jones, and Jim Fay was in the building with that. How'd you think the game was?
It was really good to see Terry play. He's the second player that's gone down to Motlow to play. Jamal Morris graduated, around 06, I would say. He played for a couple of years there at Motlow. Another great kid, and you had East High really represented. You had Jubal Cooper and Tyrus Bainham in the crowd.
Yeah,
and, I thought, well, with those guys and Avery, and you had Shawnee Watkins out there, I figured, we'll just go ahead and have an alumni game go out there. So I don't think those young cats knew what was in the building with them.
No, I don't think they did.
Great high school basketball players in Metro Nashville history. We had some there representing the Nashville community, supporting Terry Holt and all those other guys. We might even taken Penny out there and put him on that team, because he's another great former Metro Nashville basketball player. So it was good to see some really talented players out there on the floor, and Terry Holt's one of them. And I think he's going to be a pretty darn good prospect by the end of his sophomore season, because he'll turn some heads this year, and I would expect him to be one of the best players in the state and maybe part of the country his sophomore year.
Right. And I told him after the game, I watched their team, I've watched Columbia State, and I've watched Vincennes, who was the #1 team in the nation, and I know on a neutral court that team, that Motlow team, would beat Vincennes, and that just by now because of the guard play. And I really enjoyed that game on Saturday.
A lot of good players, that's for sure.
Yep. We're going to let you get back to your practice. We appreciate you. We want to just check up with you before the season started, Jim. And, again, anytime that you want to be on the show, of course, you're welcome. And, of course, we're going to see you down the line somewhere in the gym, somewhere in Nashville.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Scott. And I guess I better get back out there before Patton cuts me from the team.
All right, Coach. We appreciate it. Talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Jim Fay of East Nashville Eagles, and we've seen him around, Jason, around town and all that. But we got to welcome someone in.
Yes, he deserves a standing ovation. He may need his own theme music, Darius.
Yeah, we got to find some theme music for Mike Curtis is in the house. What's going on, Mike? You've been away from us for a while, but we're glad to see you.
Yeah, man, I've just been taking care of some business. I handled that, now I'm back.
Well, we glad to have you back, and, man, we appreciate all that you do. ESPN guy, and can you talk about why you've been gone yet? I don't want to.
I can't, not yet.
Not yet, okay, we ain't going to talk about it there, but you've been on ESPN and doing all this other stuff, man. We appreciate you and your contribution to this. And, again, I tell these, anytime I talk to these SIDs that I have, these interns, I tell them about you. I tell them about Alexis and how you all have contributed to this, and I really appreciate you and what you do for this station.
Anytime, man. I learned so much interning with you all last semester, and I'm just trying to continue my duties as SID.
All right, now we got some work for you to do, man. I ain't gonna say ain't no work, Jason. We're gonna have some work for him to do.
Yeah, because I'm finna take I'm just
yeah, Jason and I've been sitting back for a while. We're gonna have to start.
Yeah, we trying to be the fat cats now.
Yeah, literally fat cats. Not just figuratively.
I'm ready.
All right, but Coach Jim Fay, of course, of the East Nashville, Coach Jason, and they went I meant to mention that 3 out of the last 4 years that they went to the went to the state championship game, and just a real good coach. And he talked about Avery and how important Avery is to his organization.
Yeah, Avery's one of your guys, and you see him around town. He's always he's a good going guy. It's never. When you see Avery, it's never one of those, oh, man, here comes trouble things or anything like that. So like you said, to have that kind of guy, everybody knows. And, it's not a stereotype to say that, inner city students have a little harder than some other ones. So just having another father figure and, having a mentor on the team that you can look at and, go to the classroom during the school hours if you need to. Having a guy like that to be able to say, hey, this is going on in my life and whatever, that's never a bad thing.
Now, speaking of Avery Patton, we got on the phone right now is one of his former players, Isaiah Upton's on the phone. And, of course, Isaiah, that's your guy, Jason, especially when he's on the football field playing quarterback. But we wanted to show him some love. He got hurt during the football season. We wanted to show him some love and knowing we are looking out for you, man. And we want to let you know that we got your back, Isaiah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And again, we loved watching you play football, of course, playing basketball. And I always tell people, and can you tell me yet why you throw the football right-handed but shoot the basketball left-handed? Do you know why?
No, I couldn't tell you, man. I really don't know why.
But how you doing, man? I saw you Saturday. You were at the game at Motlow, Columbia State against Motlow, seeing one of your former teammates, Terry Holt, play. How you feeling right now?
I'm doing pretty good. I got surgery coming up in 2 weeks, so I'm just going to take it easy,
We just talked to your coach, Jim Fay. He said that you're going to be an assistant, so I'm going to get to see you wearing the Phil Jackson suits on the sidelines, or you're going to just having the warm-ups?
No, I'm going to just add a warm-up on.
Talk about, you guys still are loaded in basketball. I know without you on the team, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but it's good. Good thing is they're starting out without you, so they don't have to get used to not playing with you. Talk about some of the guys on that team that you think is going to be able to step up in your place.
We have a lot of guys that's going to be able to step up. We got Thomas Booker back and Tor McGee back, so those two have to really step up if we want to make it back to where we were last year.
And 3 out of 4 years, you guys have been back to Murfreesboro. And again, it's going to be tough, but having a guy like Jim Fay who's been there before, having these other guys, having you on the bench, and also having Avery Patton on the side, and also your uncle as the assistant coach on the bench, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys took another trip down to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, well, I think we have potential to go back, so.
All right, and that game Saturday, man, I want to talk about that. I've been talking about it all weekend. A great game. It was the who's who was there as far as college coaches. I saw Kermit Davis there, of course, a guy that you're going to be seeing a lot when you go to MTSU, except you playing football. And also the assistant coach of Auburn, Tony Jones, was there. You were there. Talk about that game and how proud of you of Terry.
Man, he played awesome. He talked about how happy he was playing for the coach and all that stuff. So I was really impressed by the game.
Yeah, that was a good game. And, again, I told Coach Fay that I thought that they would be, possibly one of the top teams in the nation right now because they beat the number 4 team. I've seen the number 1 and the number 4 team, and I guarantee you Motlow beat the number 4 team, and I believe that they can also beat the number 1 team, Vincennes.
Yeah.
All right, man, we appreciate you. We wanted to just show you some love, man, and even though you wear that other red color, you still my guy.
I appreciate that.
All right, that's Isaiah Upton and Jason. That's a guy that you've been following for a while, and you said it, man, when he became a senior, he was going to be dominant on the football field.
Yeah, like you said, we saw him that his sophomore season against Maplewood, and I was not pleased that he was playing against Maplewood in any of those games. And, for 3 years, Maplewood's had to take it on the chin every time they played. Not 3 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Last 2 years.
Last 2 years, they took it on the chin every time they played East. And Mr. Upton was a big reason why. And a couple of his friends, Lennox and Malik City and all those guys. So he's still on the phone laughing at us, Scott. I didn't know you were there.
Hey, I'm glad you're still there. Isaiah, I'll never forget that game last year against Maplewood, when you guys had 3 fourth-down conversions and you ran the ball all 3 times, and of course the last one was for a touchdown, and then you beat them 21-20. You think that was your highlight game, or what do you think was one of your highlight games? Is that your highlight game as a football player?
Yeah, can you say that again?
Was that game against Maplewood when you converted 3 fourth downs in the last minute to beat them? Was that your highlight game, or was this game this year against Pearl Cone? Which one? I mean, you can call either one was really good, but which one would you say was your highlight game?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Pearl game this season. that was a big win for us.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I had to be at Whites Creek, but that's all. We had the radio crew there. That's all they talked about was the way that you all handled it, you and Lennox and some of the other guys, and just a great way of a great. Some of them still saying that's the best high school football game they have ever witnessed. So I'm glad. I know you're happy that you was a part of that, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and speaking of that game, Isaiah, the last play of the game, it's the ball's on, I believe it was about the 3-yard line. You guys call timeout. Coach puts it to the sideline. In my head, I'm immediately thinking, I know it's third down now I think about it. I'm thinking, you got to throw the ball here.
Yeah.
When he says we're handing the ball off, what's going through your mind at that point?
I mean, I really didn't feel too comfortable throwing the ball on the 3-yard line, so we had no other choice but to run the ball. I felt like our guys up front could get the job done.
And they did, and those guys that have been around you since you were a freshman, really, all the guys, the Cunninghams of the world, and all those guys, the Carthons, and all those guys really did their job. But man, we appreciate you calling, man. We want you to come down since you got a little time. We want you to come in the studio. So your mother's been down here. We want you to come down here and check it out a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Isaiah. We appreciate you. Take it easy, man.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, Isaiah Upton, well-spoken man and great football player, great basketball player.
He made me nervous, man. First, he laughed when we talked about it.
He did.
He laughed, and I appreciate that. I'm kidding. But then, like you said, he's well-spoken. I'm thinking, hey, man, we were just talking about how we gonna try to fall back a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope he's not getting comfortable saying, yeah, let them fall back. I'll slide in that position.
Yeah. He got 4 years.
He's going to buy us out, man.
Yeah, but Mike, you seen him. Have you seen Isaiah play when you were doing the high school games? I don't think you saw him play, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, but
you missed a treat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
On the basketball court and on the football field, he's probably one of the best athletes I've seen. 6'2", about 185 pounds. And again, I am baffled by the fact that he can shoot with his right. He shoots with his left hand, but throws a football with his right hand. He still don't know why, and it's just amazing how he's been able to do that.
Yeah, that's one of those. I guess you're super ambidextrous when you're able to do that. It's not like being able to write when you're actually able to throw a football.
Yeah.
And then you don't even know what's his dominant hand. We don't know.
No, we don't.
We'd have to see what he writes with in the classroom to know that, I guess.
And I'm glad you said that. All those three, and I'll never forget that game. Those 3 times he rolled to his left and got the first downs against Maplewood. So he did. So
it may be something in the back of his head. He may say, "Hey, you think I'm running? And watch this." He rolls out, throws it with the left.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back for our third segment on the bench press. We'll be right back.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll ball it up.
Cause we know how to hoop.
We'll mess around.
Cause we know how to play.
We'll drop it down.
Cause we know how to dance.
We'll veg it up.
Veg night and day.
Can we do it?
Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy. Remember, that's We Can. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
This is Scott Wallace, and you listen to the Hour of Power, the Bench Press Sports Show on WT and Tribune Radio.
So glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh, my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay?
My arm. I think it's broken.
Can you bend it?
It's already bent.
in the wrong direction. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious.
Ow! My arm, it hurts.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Nurse, I need you to apply pressure to the head wound until I can get to it. I'm concerned she's lost too much blood.
Oh, no.
You in the corner, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
She's my girlfriend, Doctor.
You need to wait out in the waiting room.
Please, Doctor, I want to stay with her.
Look, she's been badly injured. So if you want to do what's best for her, you need to let us do our work.
Please, Doctor, she has to be okay. I didn't mean to do this. I love her.
Wait a second. You were the driver?
Yes, but I didn't mean to. I swear, we went to dinner. I was just buzzed. I only had a few drinks.
Just buzzed? Why didn't you tell us that? In that case, your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe this. Really, Doctor? She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
And we're back here on the bench press. Had to move little stuff around a little bit. We're going to go with Coach Jay Smith, the assistant coach of Reinhardt University. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's going on, Scott?
You got it, man. You got it. I told Jason I'm bragging now. You called me today and told me, man, you need to be on the show today. So we must be doing something good for you to contact me and say, huh?
Y'all throwing me off, man. I had y'all set for 6:30. We sitting here as the coaching staff eating our lunch.
Oh, my bad.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Well, we appreciate you sliding in because we got big time by a couple of our guys calling in, so we had to move you up the ladder a little bit, man. If that's all right.
That's fine, man. That's fine. I just tell all the people to turn in a little later.
All right. Listen, man, you guys are 2-0 already, and you're going to travel back home here against the Tennessee State University. We're right on campus right now. How excited are you guys coming up to Nashville to play against TSU?
Scott, the funny thing is we was just sitting here talking about it, man. We got Hiawassee coming up tomorrow. So we're definitely trying to handle that business first before we get up there on Friday. But, we get there and we'll see what happens. But my mentality, we're coming for a win.
I know you are. And, 2-0 already. You guys have done your thing a little bit. And talk about some of the players on your team that have been really showing out so far this year.
Well, we got two seniors on our squad. We got Ira Hughley, and we got Matt Porter. We're also being led by Justin Zachary and Corey Ricks. And, we have a great group, mixture of guys, man. Honestly, we got, 10 guys that can start for any other team in the conference or any NAIA team. And right now we just, hitting the stride right now. We won both our exhibitions. And like you said, we just won our 2 regular season games down here in Florida. And we're just anxious to get this season going, man. Everything's looking good so far. So we just, strategize and get this stuff together. And hopefully, get that ring at the end of the season.
All right. Now, you got a guy named Cameron Wallace on the team. I got to check his DNA to see if he may be kin to me. Is he a player? If he's a player and he's kin to me.
Yeah. JJ he's a player. I don't think he's related to you, Scott. But, actually, he's an Army guy, man. He donates his time, man. He joined the military in the off season. And so he's a good kid, man. He's a good kid, and he's going to be big in the future, man.
All right. Tell him he got an uncle in Nashville that's going to be looking out for him. Now, when you get done with that TSU game, you got to right away to back-to-back. Got to play Tennessee Wesleyan and get right back into doing that. Then you're going to have a team down the line on. I think you got this game on December 15th circled. A certain university in Nashville is going to be down there to come check you out. How excited are you about that game?
Well, right now our goal is focused on the 3 games this week. Like
now that's coach talk. You talking to me now, man.
Hey, Scott, I'm being politically correct. My head coach is right here, man.
I got you.
So, we're concentrating on really Tennessee Wesleyan because that is a conference game.
Right.
So, although these games are good to get us tuned up for a conference, that is a game that matters most because I think they picked us 5th in our finish in our conference. Last year we finished 2nd, 4th. Last year we finished 2nd, made a trip to the national tournament. So we're just trying to improve on that. And, Coach Gillespie brought me aboard, and, I'm just trying to add what little bit I can to put us over the edge and maybe finish on top this year.
Now Jason's in here with us, man. He hasn't seen your coach's style, even your coach's gear. Have you knocked him out the box yet, or are you just chilling down there since you're assistant now?
That's because Jason stood up there. Jason was online last year, so he was a little shelter. He gonna have to come out this year.
I wasn't online. Alan was on.
Oh, Alan, that's right, Alan.
That's who it was. It was Alan, not Jason. My bad.
But yeah, haven't seen you. I mean, were you gonna come out with something for us on Friday?
Oh, well, that's the big lights right there. So you already know what time it is, Scott. Biggie said it best. Stay big Gators. The Detroit players.
I already know. You from Detroit, but Hiwassee again. You can play against Hiwassee on tomorrow. That's going to be. You got a lot of road games. Would that in a row? Is that trying to get you before you play your first home game on November 22nd? Are you guys? Was that by design to have these road games to get you guys ready for the season?
Yeah, you know me, Scott. Just a little toughness, man. We had one, like I said, we had one exhibition here. We played Fort Benning, Army team here, and we beat them. But I'm glad we're on the road because it sets a precedence of your toughness of your team. And when December rolls around, we have a lot of home games, December and January. So either way it goes, you have to play them. So why not start off on the road?
All right, now Dana said he's not gonna let you outdress him, man. So you gotta go deep in the closet to get that guy, man. He talked to me when he came in the studio about a couple of weeks ago. I told him about your gear, and he said he ain't gonna outdress me. So I'm not gonna be at the game. I had to have some guys looking around, and maybe y'all can go out there and have a fashion show. I don't know before the game starts or at halftime.
Yeah, we'll set the catwalk up for you.
Coach. Set the catwalk up.
Hey, well, you know my motto. It's only three best in the league, man. That's Patino, Jay Wright, and myself.
Well, man, we glad you're coming back. Of course, we're proud of what you're doing and how you
appreciate that.
Yeah, and how you handling the kids down there, man. I know Mama's gonna be glad you're gonna be back in town. You ready for some of the Mama's good cooking?
Yeah. Everything's gonna be good, man. And before I get off the line, man, I got Coach Gillespie, who's the head coach here at Reinhardt. If you want to give him a couple questions, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Hold on one second.
All right. Of course, I'm gonna get the questions about Jay and how.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Coach Gillespie, how you doing, sir?
I appreciate you taking time to holler at us down here. We're looking forward to getting up that way Friday. I'm looking forward to getting back in the volunteer state. I grew up down in Jackson. So,
oh, did you?
Oh yeah. A lot of people that I went to high school with, Tennessee State grads. So it's going to be an interesting time to get back up that way.
Well, we're looking forward to the game, man. Of course, I can't be at the game, but I'm going to have some guys there. But I've seen you play. I've seen you coach. Last year I was the SID over at Fisk, so I've been around you, and I like your coaching style. But talk about playing this Division I team and how important it is for these guys to not come in here and come in thinking that you're going to be able to win this game.
Well, it's good preparation for us because we're not going to see the same type of athletes and the skill level at our level that we'll get to see on Friday. So I think it's good practice for us. But at the same time, we're going to go in and we have guys, not just as coaches, but we have guys that are student athletes that are competitors. And every time they step on the court, they want to put their best foot forward and they want to show that they have that ability. You know, a lot of times at the NAIA level, you get guys that have the kind of talent that just for whatever reason didn't work out for them to be a Division I, quote unquote, Division I men's basketball player, but it doesn't mean that there isn't talent, you know, out there that at different levels.
All right, Coach, now I'm going to ask you the question, man. And Jay's my friend, so you can be truthful with me. How much of a hindrance to have Jay Smith sitting next to you on the bench, man?
Hindrance so far, not at all. No, he's been great. He's helped us a ton. He's like you said, he's sitting right here next to me, so I got a lot to say. He's been awesome. No, we're really glad to have him. He's a huge asset to what we're trying to do, and what we're trying to build here. You know, we're just in year 3. We're trying to get it right and get it back to levels. I've had other schools at this, or another school at this level, get back to that same championship type atmosphere, and we're getting there. And he's definitely helped us take that step.
Well, we appreciate that. Now, we took a gym away from Nashville, man, and I know that he's going to do great things down there in Georgia, man, and help you all out. And you know, tell him if y'all ever need an SID, man. I haven't heard my phone. Maybe he doesn't have my number in his phone or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but I love to, you know, we love to work with you all and get down there and do some things. Matter of fact, I'll be down there at the end of November. With the Columbia State University, and I'm working with Columbia State, so maybe some guys on that team that may be able to come down there and help you guys out next year.
Well, definitely check in on us, and come by and see us, and we look forward to meeting you face to face hopefully soon. And we'll always keep that in mind. We'll make sure that Coach Smith has your number saved.
Yeah, he going big time. You already know, Coach. So I got to ask you because he'll big time me.
He'll be all right.
All right, Coach. We let you get back to your team, man. We appreciate you, and best of luck to you this season, especially best of luck to you this Friday against the TSU Tigers.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, man. Coach, that's Coach Jason Gillespie and Coach Jay Smith, and you know, we got affinity for the guy Jay Smith. He is a guy that I rode around with a lot last year and all that stuff, Jason, and he's been in this studio and tells it like it is. That's what he does.
Yeah, but I'm not cheering for him Friday.
No, you can't cheer for him.
Can't do it.
You can't cheer for him Friday. Well, and Mike, I know you're a TSU grad. Can you cheer for Ryan Harder? Who you got on Friday?
I gotta go with my alma mater. I have to, no matter what.
Yeah, well, they got, of course, that'll be Coach Dana's first game this season, and Reinhardt's played a couple of games. They would be in 3 times. This will be their 3rd game of the year, so that may be a difference, but we'll see. But again, excited about them coming up coming up from Georgia to play TSU. I wish I could be at the game, but I'll be at Columbia. I have another commitment. I'll be at Columbia State, where they're going to be taking on the Chattanooga State Tigers. I got to learn these guys' names, man. I'm in the JUCOs now, and
you're gonna learn about a lot of schools you didn't know exist.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, speaking of the JUCOs, we have the coach of the Columbia State Community College Chargers, and you had some issues saying that name.
That's a lot of C's. Alliteration was going on there.
Yeah, of course, Coach Brian Collins for his weekly segment. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, how you doing?
We good. Are you busy at practice too?
No, we just got out.
Okay, good. We've been talking to everybody at practice, pulling folks out of practice stuff, man. Everybody try to get these victories on here, man. But we're glad to have you. You had about 3 games since we last talked to you. You went 2-1 in those games, and just a great atmosphere. Even though you lost on Saturday, a great atmosphere in Motlow. Talk about how you feel about these 3 games this week you had.
Oh man, we're just happy that we're continuing to improve. We we got a chance to go on the road for our first 2 conference games, and we got a split. And anytime you can win on the road is always a plus. We want to win all of our games, obviously, but it's always tough to win on the road. And we dropped a tough one to a very, very good Motlow State team who got a lot of guys back and from last year's team. So we're just trying to continue to improve. We've had a rough first 5 games, 4 of them being on the road, but I'm excited about where this team's going.
All right, now you got your next 2 games. You're going to play against Chattanooga State on this Friday and also Cleveland State on this Saturday. Not Cleveland, Ohio. It's Cleveland, Tennessee. How excited about you are now? The last time, and again, I just really realized that both games you've lost this year is the second game of back-to-back. How excited about you guys about getting back on the floor on Friday?
We're very excited. We're glad to get back on the floor, and especially to play at home. The game on Saturday stung a little bit because we know we should have got out of there with the victory. But that's the beauty of basketball. You're going to face different adversities, and you got to be able to come back and make those adjustments and get ready for the next one. So we'll be ready for Friday and Saturday. And I think this can be a turning point for our season, hopefully.
I do, too. Now, a couple of guys that have been playing lights out, lately, I think the first half, he didn't play too well in the first half against Motlow, but he came out in the second half, was T.J. Cromer, who ended up with 18 points. He had 34 on Friday. And also Justin Pride has been really steady. Talk about the contribution those guys have been to the season so far.
Well, they're very excited they are, and they're coming in, and I'm not surprised about how they're really playing. Cromer's shooting the ball extremely well right now, and Pride's doing a great job of leading this group. He hasn't started the last 2 games because he just had a birth of a brand new baby girl.
Yeah.
We're excited about that for him. So it's good. It's going to be good to get him back in the lineup to get us off to a good start. And we're going to continue to make adjustments on our lineup too, trying to figure out what's going to be the best combination to get us off to a good start. So we're hoping this weekend will be the start of something special, and hopefully these guys can get to the level that I expect them to play at.
Was it good to see A.J. Dye get back on the court after being injured at Vincennes?
It was. It was promising to get him out there. It was important for me to get him out there and get him some minutes. We really are not sure where he is on the healing process just yet. We're going to continue to monitor him and slowly work him back into playing and getting his leg back stronger. So it's very encouraging to see him out there on the floor.
All right, and just getting these guys out there. Your bigs played well this past week. Emmanuel Griggs had a double-double, and also you got Gonda Amiri in the game a little bit against. He started against Volunteer State, and he got a little clock. Also, Raymond Jenkins. And I don't call him a big, but he is a big because of his size, but he plays on the wing. Jamonte Davis. Talk about how important it is for those guys to really get it going now.
It's very important. We had a great practice today, and it was kind of centered around those guys continue to be active on the glass. We got out rebounded on Saturday, but we out rebounded Vol State on Friday. But that's something we should never happen. We should never get out rebounded with the size and athleticism that we have, and with the energy those bigs can bring, and the opportunity to be able to rotate those guys is an advantage for our team.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get back. I know you got a long way back to Nashville. I've taken that trip a few times now.
Yes, sir.
But we are looking at some big things, and I'll be there Friday, of course. And I got some little bit more to say on the mic. I was a little nervous on the last game, so I'm getting used to it now.
Man, I thought you did a great job, man. We love you, PAN.
Oh, well, the check's in the mail, brother.
All right.
All right, Coach Brian Collins and Jason, is a guy that lost 2 games all last season. He lost 2 games already this season, and he's not sweating any.
No, that's the thing when you got junior colleges and community colleges. Especially you don't have a 4-year school, you're gonna have guys rotating in and out. So it's a ever going process of you can't have one system and say guys have to fit into this system. 2 losses in one season is amazing, and to have those losses already, it's back to the drawing board. I'm sure he's not looking and saying there's no panic button now.
No,
it's now you say, well, the conference play hasn't really gotten anywhere going, so there's still a chance to get anything going. And we know the ultimate goal is to head out to the Midwest and Try to bring home a trophy.
Yeah, so we're looking forward. And we got all these folks coming in. Chantel is made it. I know. Why am I surprised that folks want to be around
here? It's
us
the aura.
It's
the aura.
It is.
And it's Ladarius.
It's Ladarius. And I'm trying to get, I need some theme music too. I mean, to get him to give me some theme music. I don't know. It got to be, I know it's
say the word.
Yeah, but I can't be, I'm old. I can't have that loud music around. I'm old cat. But Chantel, we're glad that you're here. And now that you're here, now you can put your hair down and you can say something on the mic and all that. You don't have to be pumps in politics. You can say what you want to do. How you doing? Tell the bench press fans.
I'm always pumps in politics.
Oh, and Taylor saying, okay, see that we can't. Yeah. We can't get them to.
I think it's time for a break, ain't it?
Yeah, it's time for a break. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You just saying. You can't talk like that when you're on Pumps and Politics,
don't
though.
Throw shade.
Nah, we're not throwing shade.
We all family. I represent Pumps and Politics, Bench Press. We all, we all under WTN Tribune Radio.
There you go.
The umbrella.
The umbrella. Right. The big umbrella. Right. It's a huge umbrella. The
big umbrella.
Bigger and bigger. And of course,
Queen B.
Yeah, she was listening. I forgot she was here.
I think it's real time for a break.
It is now. Maybe time for a break. I might go home.
This might be our final break, huh?
Yeah, our show today.
This might be our last show.
Yeah, it might be. We'll be back.
We appreciate it.
We'll see y'all later now. We're going to have the news with Miss Scales. No news today. We'll be back after these messages then on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
So glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh, my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay?
My arm. I think it's broken.
Can you bend it?
It's already bent. In the wrong direction.
I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious. Ow! My arm, it hurts.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WTN Tribune Radio, home of the Hour of Power, the Bench Press Sports Show. Tune in right here every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Time on WTN Tribune Radio.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor. Because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
Nurse, I need you to apply pressure to the head wound until I can get to it. I'm concerned she's lost too much blood.
Oh, no.
You in the corner, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
She's my girlfriend, Doctor.
You need to wait out in the waiting room.
Please, Doctor, I want to stay with her.
Look, she's been badly injured. So if you want to do what's best for her, you need to let us do our work.
Please, Doctor, she has to be okay. I didn't mean to do this. I love her.
Wait a second. You were the driver?
Yes, but I didn't mean to. I swear, we went to dinner. I was just buzzed. I only had a few drinks.
Just buzzed? Why didn't you tell us that? In that case, your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe this. Really, Doctor? She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
And we're back, man. What
our contract got renewed.
Yeah, we did. Appreciate Mike being here. If it wasn't for Mike.
Oh yeah, we were
out of here.
in the cars right now.
Yeah, they asked us if we were doing an hour show. I like, can we do 2, please? Man, it's crazy up here, Mike. Man, we glad you back, brother. We'd have been in trouble.
I'm glad to be here. I'm that liaison.
There you go.
He's our chip. He's our chip.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's talk a little college football and let's just get on top. The TSU Tigers rallies to beat Austin Peay in the final minute. Shout out. Finally, after about a 3 or 4 game losing streak, they got the dub down at Austin Peay. At Austin Peay.
And again, it's I don't know how the situation is going to roll out, but we definitely hope it's not a too little too late situation getting that win. Big conference win, but that string of losses, it definitely doesn't help the situation. And then, like we said, the FCS has the full-on playoff system. So, I mean, anything can go, but, still, those losses didn't help their situation. And, that committee's going to look and say, well, do they really deserve it? They're back at 500, but, look what happened, during the month of October, basically.
Right. And we hope that they could do it. I've been waiting for them to do it and get a home game and play a playoff game in the hole. But they lost the first 2 games in the hole this year for the first time since I said 1997.
Something like that.
Little skewed a little bit, but still, that's good to say. We haven't lost a game since 1997.
That's what I told my first college. We never lost any football games because we didn't have a football team.
There you go. And Mike, your team won Saturday. How you feel about that, man? Been busy. You ain't been paying attention.
What college?
Yeah, I got that diploma on the wall. That's all that matters. Yeah. But they, of course, Mike German had another good game, and shout out to him, and he's been playing well. And but going but the thing about that game that people don't understand and maybe not recognize, and they may have heard him. I didn't watch the game, but before the game, the Austin Peay team, the Governors, wore. Of course, they are in a college. They're in a military town. They wore the camouflage jerseys with the nicknames of the name of the Army brigades on the back of their jerseys. And of course, Vanderbilt was fined for that, and Austin Peay tried to get clearance for that, but they were told that if you wear them, you're going to have to get a timeout taken away from you in each quarter, and they went on and wore them anyway. I don't know if that was it with the outcome of the game, but shout out to Austin Peay for doing that and taking a stand and saying, you know what, we want to show, because it's Veterans Day coming up, we want to show some love to the armed forces.
Yeah, and NCAA. I worry about some bigger issues, but I always like that, especially when the military schools play each other, Army, Navy. We know those are always some of the biggest games, and you're not going to see the brand of football you want to see, but you're not going to see any guys who are out there giving it their all like you're going to see during those games. And I always appreciate just seeing on the back of they never wear the players' names on the back. Usually you see when in the Army game, the jerseys will say honor, family, commitment, respect, things like that on the back of the jersey. And so that would have been a cool thing, especially like you said, Fort Campbell just right around the way from Austin Peay, for them to have those on their uniforms. But again,
Yes, yes,
The
yeah.
good old NCAA.
Yeah, that's yes. We're gonna penalize you for doing something that really doesn't really matter, and showing love to the military, and that's crazy to me. But anyway, going on with this college football talk, Auburn and Notre Dame suffered their second losses of the year, so that virtually makes them out of the bowl championship series, if they want to call it for that, and they were knocked out, both of them. Well, Notre Dame was a sleeper because of the fact of their schedule, but they went down Arizona State and got handled, and Auburn lost. So, Jason, I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, we don't know who the top 4 teams are going to be. It's going to be a tough go around, but tough losses for Auburn and for Notre Dame.
Yeah, and especially the way Auburn lost. You know, everybody says they've been the team of destiny the past year and a half, and for it to kind of end with that, you know, the fluke snap, and that's one that, you know, nobody's ever going to come out and say, well, you know, Nick should have been under center or the center shouldn't have snapped that time.
We don't know.
But it doesn't matter because, you know, Gus Malzahn is I'm sure Saturday night in the Malzahn household was not a happy time, nor was it in the Auburn locker room. But, I mean, think back, I believe it was 2005, the LSU team, 3 losses, and, you know, somehow they back their way into the championship game, end up with a title to their name. So, as looking at all these 7, you know, 1-loss teams, and, you know, like you said, the 2 undefeated teams at the top of the board right now, who knows what happens? You still got 3 or 4 weeks of college football left, and then the championship game, and you know, in each conference. So nobody's dead yet. It's weird to say, but nobody's dead yet.
Yeah, and then going on with that, the game between Alabama and LSU went to overtime, double overtime, I believe, and they pulled that game out. The SEC, Mike, is loaded, locked and loaded, and it's been tough all year long, and it's going to be tough, and they're beating the heck out of each other. So it's just a real tough division, a real tough conference to be in, Mike.
Yeah, the proof is with Vanderbilt's team. You know, I've been covering them with ESPN. They're 3-7 right now, I believe. They had 2 games left, and their last game is against, I want to say,
they got to play UT, I know.
Yeah, UT.
Yeah, and
that's their last home game.
Yeah, and you know, you watched Vanderbilt twice this year. How did they look to you? The Ole Miss game, and then I forgot the other game that you watched. How did they look to you? I haven't seen them in person yet.
They look discombobulated, honestly. On offense, they didn't know whether they wanted to run the ball or throw the ball. One of the quarterbacks, I believe the starting quarterback, he had a lot of interceptions.
Yeah.
They just look bad. But the one game that I did see them win, they look good.
Okay, you saw them on it twice.
Yeah, only twice.
Okay, you saw them twice. They won a game, they lost the game. Oh, you saw them 3 times. Then.
I want to say 3.
That's right.
It's been a long three times. The one time I did see them, they ran like 2 touchdowns from punt returns. That was the best they looked all season.
Yeah, and Van, of course, we since we're in Nashville, we really keep an eye on them, but we don't. You know, this year is not going to be the year. Yeah, just one
eye this year, and the side eye.
Yeah, yeah. So they're going to be at Mississippi State next week. Ooey, and yeah, I anytime Mississippi State, that's the game that they're going to play before they play. That's going to be. I'm sorry, they're off, and then Mississippi State's going to play Alabama next week, and then they're going to play at Mississippi State. So Vanderbilt. Look like to be looking at basketball season, huh?
Yeah, if you're Vanderbilt, I think you're hoping that they beat Alabama that game, so maybe they can come in and they're still on an emotional high, or they're emotionally worn out from that game. You don't want them to come in after Alabama's hung with the Texas A&M score on them. They go in and beat them 52-0, and now you're like, man, we got to take a trip down to Starksville, and they're gonna take it out on us for that game.
Yeah. So, but just college football is the most exciting thing that's going on right now. This November, and everybody's trying to rally around it, and then right around after Thanksgiving, we'll probably know a whole lot more. Well, not that first week of December, we'll know a whole lot more, because that's the SEC championship game, also the the Big 12 championship game, and I don't think any Big 10 teams are going to be close in this with the loss, like Michigan State's loss to Ohio State. So it's going to get exciting about that. But something that Jason, this is Mike's game to talk about a little bit, the NBA. I haven't really watched the NBA that much, to be honest with you, this year so far. All I know is that my guy's hurt again, Jason, and that's Derrick Rose, of the Bulls. And I know this is your sport, Mike. So far, how's the NBA doing?
It's really competitive. Like for the first time in a couple of years, anybody can beat anybody. The East has gotten way better. Toronto was looking amazing. Unfortunately, Cleveland isn't doing so good right now.
That's your team.
Sitting at 1-3. Hopefully they can pull it together tonight against the Pelicans. But yeah, for the most part, I think the Warriors are topping the Western Conference right now. San Antonio falls somewhere in the middle. So, but it's still the beginning. So anything can change.
Memphis is 6-1, and Warriors are 5-1. So, So I mean, they're both with one loss, but the Memphis Grizzlies, who just lost the other day to Milwaukee, are topping the and then Milwaukee's 8th in the East are the tops. And so we had to go down. We had to take a ride down 40 West to go check out the Grizzlies.
I'm willing to do it.
You have done it.
Have done it a couple times, and again, my first NBA game I ever attended was that 2012 when they were up by 20-something points in the playoffs against the Clippers and lost that game. And when Rudy Gay took that last shot and the ball came off the rim, you could have heard a pin drop in that arena. It was so quiet.
Man, can y'all imagine Memphis going to the finals?
I'm there. I am there.
I think everybody in here is going to be there.
We'll be renting us a big van, and we will stick the sticker on the side.
Stick the WTN Tribute sticker on there, and then just go. We can stay at Ladaria's house. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, if not Taylor. Taylor is from Memphis too.
I'm good with that too.
Hey, Alicia's from Memphis.
Wherever the food
Alan's
is,
from Memphis.
we're
there. Art's from Memphis. We got a lot of folks. We don't have to worry about a place to stay.
We see where y'all recruiting goes to.
Yeah. So, hey, that's right. So, but the NBA is full swing right now, and I don't usually catch the NBA until like December, January, and get all into it. Yeah, around Christmas when the Christmas games are really good. But the surprise looks like is that everybody thought losing LeBron would hurt Miami, but they're 5-2 right now in the East and in second place.
Yeah, like we talked about. I mean, you lose LeBron, arguably the best player in the game, but again, it's not like you lost LeBron and you have to suit a guy like me up to play small forward. You bring in Luol Deng and Chris Bosh came back, and Chris Bosh is a totally different player now that LeBron's gone. You bring in Josh McRoberts, who's he's not even starting for the team. Yeah, and you got guys Shabazz Napier. And again, I think the biggest move was telling Mario Chalmers to go have a seat on the bench to start the game. Norris Cole is he's the future of the point. That's going to be weird. You start looking, who is it going to be in the future? Is it going to be Norris Cole? Is it going to be Shabazz Napier in the next couple of years? But Miami's got things going again. Like I said, losing LeBron, but picking up Luol Deng. There's a drop off, but it's not as big as a drop off as people would like to think.
Yeah, Mike, and I'm surprised about that. Are you surprised that Miami is winning like this early?
I am, honestly, because that's a team that had a cohesive unit, and they went to the finals 4 straight times. So when you lose the best player in the world, arguably, it should take a hit to your team. But fortunately for them, they're doing good.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can keep it up.
Luol Deng with 30 points yesterday in a victory over Dallas. So again, Luol Deng is not a scorer like that. He's more of a defender. He'll get you 15 to 20 points a game. But him to bust out with 30, and then Bosh getting 10 rebounds and Wade getting 10 assists. New big three in Miami.
Yeah.
Not
the big three, but probably not a trophy-winning big three, but still, like I said, Luol Deng is a good addition to any basketball team. Any team out there, I guess maybe except for the Hawks, would appreciate having him on their roster.
Yeah, I don't think he would appreciate playing for the Hawks either. Of course, it would happen with the general manager, Danny Ferry, said about him. Now, I heard you guys last week, and I want to get Mike's perspective on this. You guys talked about the top teams in each conference. And did you guys go to the top 4? How'd y'all do that?
Who knows?
Yeah. So, Mike, Give us the top teams for you in the East in the NBA right now. Well, top teams to you.
Okay. Not record wise, correct?
Nah, just in your mind, who the top team is going to be in the East.
When it's all said and done, I will say Chicago.
All right, I like that.
By 2 games over Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
I throw Washington.
That's good.
And Toronto.
All right, that's the top 4 teams, and you didn't mention Miami, so.
Nah, I'll get in the 5th spot.
Okay. All right, guess the 5th spot. And another team that's been very surprising, they beat the Bulls last Saturday, was Boston. They're 500 now in the West.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
The West, I got let's see, where's San Antonio at right now? 2 and 3. Okay. And they're missing Kawhi Leonard. So right now I'm gonna say the Clippers. Golden State, Memphis,
yes,
and then Houston.
Wow, no San Antonio, and Sacramento, and they're loaded.
It's tough.
They're
it's
loaded.
Tough to only pick just 4.
Yeah, they're loaded in the West, and the Lakers, 1-5, and Kobe still shooting lights out, but that's just hard to look at, even to see the Lakers at the bottom of the conference. That's very difficult for me to see growing up when the Lakers used to be top 2 and 3, and not just in the conference but in the NBA all my life. To see them fall like that, it's very surprising.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not a Lakers fan, but there's still some history and nostalgia of the game that you look at and you're like, shouldn't be like that. But look at how the Western Conference is going to shape out at the end of the season. We're Oklahoma City is the 3rd from bottom team right now, and we know they're missing their top 2 players. Those guys are going to come back, and surely they'll have to try to make a late run. What if they do make a late run? Look at all those teams that are there right now. Sacramento's a surprise team. Everybody knew New Orleans would get better. Dallas is still kind of that fringe team. Phoenix, they were right on the outside looking in last year to playoffs. Somebody's gonna have to get bumped off. It's gonna be again in the Western Conference. There's gonna be 2 or 3 teams that would be, if they played in the Eastern Conference, would be, top 5 seed.
Right.
That because they're playing in the West, they're sitting at home in May. But
it's gonna come down to the last week.
Yeah.
Last week of the regular season,
as it always does. And you find a team, the 8th seeded team and the 9th seeded team being like 10 games over 500 or something crazy like that.
And then in the Western Conference, like you said, the 8th seed, they'll be 5 games under 500. But that's just how. And you've heard kind of rumblings of, will the NBA ever go to just 16 teams, 16-team playoff system, and they reseed them after each one? That would be the best way to do it. But I mean, it's just never going to work that way because it takes away everything else. Rivalries aren't as big in the NBA as they are in, baseball and basketball. I mean, football. But it would just take away from everything to do it that way. It looked weird looking at the end because you would say, well, who's representing who? And, you don't want, 2 Western Conference teams playing each other in the finals. So leave it as is, and we'll just have to deal with the Eastern Conference. Maybe they'll keep pushing this season.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Eastern Conference right now at the bottom of the standings, and Philadelphia is 0-7. And
Surprise.
Indiana is 1-6.
Yeah.
So losing Paul George, and I believe David West is injured.
Yeah.
As well as Roy Hibbert just got injured. So injury woes are plaguing the NBA once again.
Yeah. We're gonna take a break and we'll come back with some more headlines and talk a little bit about Metro football. The playoffs are going on right now, and we'll be back here on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor. Because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
I'm so glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay?
My arm. I think it's broken. Can you bend it? It's already bent. In the wrong direction.
I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious.
Ow! My arm, it hurts.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
You're listening to WTN Tribune Radio, home of the Hour of Power, the BenchPress Sports Show. Tune in right here every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Time on WTN Tribune Radio.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
And we're back on the bench press, and you know what's good to have the engineer here, the engineer extraordinaire here. We about to do a little experiment.
Along with our new contract came with
Yeah, we're gonna do a little something that you never. We'll see if you guys listen to the show. We'll hear it in the background. We're gonna have something
homework
going on.
Homework.
Yeah, but you know that's a great thing of having the extraordinary engineer that we have here during the break. He's talking about some stuff to try to build up more awareness of the show. So we're about that, ain't that right, Jason?
Absolutely.
All right, getting into some other sports. Of course, the football, high school football playoffs are going on. We talked earlier to Isaiah Upton. His team lost 24-14 to Lipscomb, who they played 2 games in a row, and they lost. But some other teams here in Metro that moved on, like McGavick, upset Overton in 2 overtimes. Jason, missed extra point. killed them. You know, how do you feel about that? If you're a kid in high school, you got to go back to school Monday, and you know you missed the extra point on your team's season is done.
As a high school kid, you're a teenager. You're still not fully, mentally developed and all that. I'm sure that whole weekend was just probably the worst for that kid. And it's one of those things we talked about. We've seen with our own two eyes. Special teams, especially in high school games, they can make or break you.
Yeah, and we're talking about that because in the first quarter of the game, and never forget that game, Maplewood played against White House, and they missed the extra point in the first quarter. We thought it was good. Matter of fact, we put on the board as good. And
came back.
Yeah, it came back to haunt them, but McGavick moves on, and then of course Pearl Cone, who is looking to make a long run in the playoffs, got a victory, and also Hillsborough. And Hillsborough's a team, Jason, I'm picking to go all the way to not to Murfreesboro, all the way to Cookeville. Yeah. And so just exciting times around here. Of course, they had the team of junior and juniorists at Hillsborough, and they watched Hillsborough roll over Kenwood, and they got some guys that's going to be playing Division I football next year. So again, just a lot of great things going on in Metro sports. Of course, basketball starts tomorrow. We talked to Jim Fay of East Nashville. He starts on Friday, but tomorrow basketball season starts, and just a great set of games tomorrow, and then having those things that happen right now. Again, all these sports going on. As a sports person that loves sports, you can't say that it's nothing for you to do now.
No, like I said, especially when you're living in Nashville. This is a major market now, and you got teams. We only have the two professional teams in the city, but we have the Grizzlies right here. Yeah, you look at it that way now. But you have the Grizzlies right down the road, and then, like you said, you got TSU basketball, Vanderbilt basketball, UT basketball, Austin Peay, Middle Tennessee, then all the community colleges around here. You got the Predators, you got the Titans, you got all kind of things going on. So, again, if you're sitting at home, if you got money in your pocket and you're sitting at home bored and you're a sports fan, that's a you issue.
Right. And talking about the Titans, we might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, let's get it over with.
Game yesterday, they came out, drove all the way down the field, and of course, I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year. He fumbled at the goal line, and that stopped the game. But they didn't let that mess them up. They came up and scored again. So it would have been 14-0. They had a 7-0 lead. But the thing that I saw, and Jason, I know you haven't been able to watch the games, but it was a hit on Delaney Walker, the tight end. And I don't know if you watched the game, Mike. But one thing that when I played, it was illegal hit on him. They didn't call a flag. Matter of fact, the only one that really did anything was Leon Washington. He headbutted the guy for doing it. He got a penalty. But what happened was, this is what happened. Delaney Walker went across the middle, caught the ball, looked like he made a football move, got hit, fumbled it, and it was recovered by Kendall Wright. Kendall Wright got about 5 more yards. Delaney Walker's knocked out. I mean, he's knocked out cold, concussion. And when Leon Washington did the headbutt, they threw the flag. They went back and looked at the play and said it was an incomplete pass. Now, they didn't throw a flag. Now, here's a discrepancy I have with doing the replay thing. Now, if he's defensive play, if defensive player is not supposed to get hit like that, you got hit in the head, but you called the play as an incomplete pass, but he's saying that he didn't make a football move, that makes him a defenseless player.
That's what it sounds like. And so that whole, and again, I totally understand why, the NFL implemented those kind of rules. Everybody said it made the league soft, but, you don't want to see things like that happen to guys. And, we talked about before, people always say, I'd rather get hit in the knees than in the head. But there are no lawsuits against the NFL for ACLs getting blown out. It's all for concussions. But, it's one of those weird things where the referees get they get handcuffed, where if they go back and look, they can see, well, yeah, he didn't have a chance to do anything, but I can't go back and say it's a defensive thing.
Right.
And it's even worse in college football, where you'll see a kid, they'll throw the 15-yard penalty for targeting, throw the player out, then they'll review to see if he actually targeted. And if they say, well, he didn't hit him on purpose, he gets to stay in the game, but we already threw the flag, so we can't reverse the flag.
Right.
And it's weird, but, I guess it's kind of one of those things, err on the side of caution instead of, saying, well, let the play go on, and you got guys getting knocked out there, and guys are getting bigger and faster and stronger every year. It won't be long till, unfortunately, somebody's not going to get up from a hit.
Yeah. Did you see the play, Mike?
Nah, I actually didn't.
Yeah, you got to check that out. It really took the momentum. It would have been a first down. It ended up that it would have the Titans after that didn't get a first down till late. This was in the second quarter till late in the fourth quarter. It just demoralized them. I mean, you went from a third. It was a 3rd and 7. They got the first down. You went from having a first down, and your tight end getting hurt, plus 15-yard penalty. You lost the first down. And you had to punt deep inside your own territory. So after that, and people talk about Zach Mettenberger, but he had a good game. He, a couple of guys dropped some passes and things like that really hurt. But again, the Titans, to me, they really showed they had some fight. The defense played really well, and that's all you can ask for a team that's struggling like that, for you to show a little fight. But they're gonna have to fight it this Monday night coming up because they got to play Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and for people who really don't know sports, it's easy for them to say, "Oh, well, just tank the season," or
No.
these guys quit. Trust me, you're never quitting at any level of athletics, whether it be high school. If you're playing on a team and you put that much blood, sweat, and tears into a season, nobody's gonna be able to come up to you and say, "Well, let's just tank it." No teammates talking you into that. So, like you said, for the defense to go out there and still give up that effort. And again, they're playing Baltimore. It's not like they, this is a loss to the Jets or the Jaguars that they went out and lost 21-7. It's the Ravens, who are a pretty good team. And like we talked about before the show, anytime you walk into M&T Bank Stadium, bring your hard hat, because the Ravens defense is always going to be there. Joe Flacco on that offense are always going to be there to get the ball moving. So, it's not like like you said, it's not like a loss to a lowly team where you're thinking, man, the Titans are really spiraling out of control now.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of spiraling out of control, my other team.
Oh, man.
The Chicago Bears.
Gee.
Y'all laughing at me. That game last night, I mean, somebody put E.M. Bear Essing, B-E-A-R Essing. I mean, they were laughing and joking on the sidelines. Green Bay was in the first quarter. They were up 28-0 in the first quarter, and then they weren't even that close, and they got worse after that. And to me, I don't know. My team that I grew up loving is really getting manhandled. The last 2 games, giving up 50 points. That's unheard of for professional teams to give up that many points. Now, you talked about not quitting, and you're right. Teams don't quit, but is it I don't know if it's a talent thing. If they're not just that talented, it's just ridiculous. And then to have, your defense, your offense always kind of, measures or helped out the defense by getting first downs and not getting them back on the field. But wow, they just 3 and out. And Green Bay was going 3 and out, but they were going 3 and out in the end zone. Yeah. So, just very discouraging football season for me. And I said I might have to pick another team to root for. I don't know, San Francisco, Seattle, somebody like that. Somebody throw a team out there for me to root for, because I'm having a.
Can your fanship be bought?
It can be now. If the Titans and the Bears are the team that you're rooting for. Let's go Preds. I don't know, but just a demoralizing win. And not tonight. You having a funny thing that happened yesterday. And we watched it before we came in, and of course Denver blew out. They think it was Oakland.
Yeah.
And the backup quarterback for Denver, Osweiler.
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, Osweiler from Arizona State. He was a 6'10" quarterback that never gets in the game. And the funny thing, he thought he was going to get in the game, but Peyton Manning controls this. And he went and threw his hat off and got his helmet, looked up, and Peyton Manning's running in the game. Now, the funny thing is, when I used to work at the Titans, for the Titans, I worked the visitor team locker room, and the game, the Titans was terrible that year again, and they played the Indianapolis Colts on it was either Monday or Thursday night game. And I saw the backup quarterback is I forget his name at the time, who it was there for the long time backup quarterback.
Jim Sorgi.
It was Sorgi. That's the other guy after him. It was Sorgi.
That
would have been the guy from Purdue, I think.
Curtis Painter.
Curtis Painter. And I said, "Hey man, get your arm ready. You're gonna be able to play." So I ain't gonna play. I said, "Yeah." I said, he said, "Trust me. I don't care what the score is. I'm not gonna play." And I was like, okay. And they beat him by like, I don't know, 5 or 6 touchdowns. He didn't play. He came back in the locker room. I told you I wasn't going to play, didn't I? Because he knew Peyton Manning does not want to come out. It doesn't matter. He does not want to come out of the game, Mike. And I don't know, how do you feel about that? You're bleeding the team like that. Your starting quarterback doesn't want to come out. What do you think, is that showing him up, or what do you think about him having that much control over the team?
Like we said, we're talking about Peyton Manning. So when we're talking Peyton Manning, we're talking about history.
Yeah.
So I believe he's chasing the stats. That's what I think.
Chasing stats. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jason.
I mean, you do like you said, it's Peyton Manning, and he's definitely earned a lot of respect and leeway in the league. But it's still at some point, if I'm Coach Fox, I'm looking at that's my starting quarterback, one of the best. Yeah, and you go out there and on some fluke play, like the Steelers Jets game, the Steelers guy gets angry and tries to leap over the top of the pile, and he hits Peyton Manning in the head, or he lands on his knee, and Peyton Manning gets a blown out ACL.
Right.
In a 40-point win, then everybody's telling Coach Fox, terrible, the worst coach ever, stupid coaching move. But
you should have more control over your players,
right? And then if you look at the camera, you see Peyton Manning run out there. Then what can I guess you could say, what can he do? You are the head coach, but
yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
I've seen coaches what they do, but Peyton Manning never takes off his helmet. What they do is they take the player's helmet away.
Yep.
Or something like that. So they he's looking for his helmet. He can't go in the game.
Peyton Manning probably has a backup helmet.
Yeah, he probably does have a backup helmet. But you got to have a big one because he has a huge head. But
hello, it's Jason.
On the line right now is the head coach of Freed-Hardeman University men's basketball, Jason Shelton, and he has a guy that, of course, has been in his studio before on his team. He had 22 points the other day. Coach Jason Shelton from Freed-Hardeman. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. I hate to tell you this, Cam is on his way from the locker room. We just finished up stuff, but he should be on his way.
Oh, that'll work.
I expect him here in another minute or so.
Well, we're going to talk to you a little bit. Is that all right?
That's fine. No problem at all. Proud to do it.
All right. Now I talked to you earlier today. You talked about how young your team is and having Cam on the team. But how excited are you about coaching this young team in the future of Freed-Hardeman sports?
Well, I mean, we've done a pretty good job over the last few years of helping to build our program with a lot of kids from Middle Tennessee area or down here around Memphis, losing, we lost, at this point, we've lost 10 of the 11 guys, really, that played for us in the national tournament last year on a 29-6 team, lost in the quarterfinals of the national tournament on the last-second shot, and kind of starting over again a little bit with a couple of guys returning, but most of these guys are new guys. But excited to have Cam with us and give him an opportunity to finish his degree and help us be able to compete in our league.
Now, you talked about the guys from Middle Tennessee area. Besides Cam, you have a guy that I've seen play, Trevor Randolph, who played at Good Pasture on your team, and also a big guy, Andrew Golden from Columbia, Tennessee. How important are those guys to your future?
Well, Trevor will play a pretty good bit for us this time as a freshman. He's probably we've got 2 senior wings, and then Trevor would be the guy that comes in behind either one of those guys. He made 4 threes in our first game the other day. It was 4 for 5 from 3. He can shoot it a little bit. He's going to work on his handle and some things like that to help him be able to help us a little bit more at college basketball. The level's just a little bit different, but he can really stroke it, and he'll have an opportunity to play a good bit for us this time. Andrew Golden had a ruptured appendix about 2 weeks into the school year before we even were able to start doing anything. His appendix ruptured on him, and he actually just had an appendix surgery yesterday. And so got that taken care of finally, and they had to wait for it to heal for him to be able to get back to be able to do that. And he just had surgery yesterday, so he's probably going to end up redshirting for us this time, considering he hadn't been able to do anything yet up to this point. He'll still be a few weeks before he's able to even try to do anything after an appendix surgery. So.
All right, and I remember this name from last year, a guy named Ben Meese. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. How he's a senior, like you talked about having the wings. How important is he because he has that senior leadership?
Well, Ben and a kid named Vincent Dotson, who played at Creekwood there in Dixon, are both fifth-year seniors in our program. And they're guys that have been around here long enough to know what's going on and are hopefully going to be able to help some other of these young guys along a little bit. But Ben can really shoot it. I think he shot 46% from three last year. I think he made a few the other day also in our first game. We shot 50% from three, which probably isn't going to happen for the year, but 13 for 26 will help you out a little bit from behind the arc. But we've Ben and Vinny both have been here for 5 years now and are finishing up degrees, and Ben's getting ready for medical school after this year, and Vince is going into the business world, but both those guys are just proud to have had him here this time for this long and be able to help us with our program, continue to build our program.
Now you just
We've got another guy from up around that part of the world also, Evan Voorhees.
Oh, yeah.
That played at Ravenwood a few years ago, transferred to us this time from Lee. So him and Cam are both kind of learning a little bit about what's going on with us, but bring a great deal of college basketball experience already. Now a little different than some of the freshmen they were throwing out there.
You talked about
Cam's in here now. If you want, just to let you know. So
all right, let me ask. I'm just talking before I get to Cam. You talked about Ben and also Vincent having being good student athletes. Is that something that you really stressed at Freed-Hardeman?
Well, I've been here. This is my 10th year. We've had two kids not earn a degree that finished playing for us.
Wow.
One guy was one class away, and just not really sure why he didn't continue to finish. And we had another guy that was one semester away and had an opportunity to do it, and kind of got into a little bit of trouble on our campus and tried to talk him into coming back after that, and he just didn't want to do it. So of all the guys that played here over 10 years, we've had two that didn't finish a degree. And I spent time with Coach Don Meyer at Lipscomb. I was a walk-on. I don't think Coach would ever said I was a player, but I was a walk-on and was a student coach for a couple of years, and then was an assistant coach there with him until he left in '99. And I know that the 26 years we were there at Lipscomb, Coach only had two guys that didn't finish, and I know one of them has even finished since then. So he's already.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot to live up to be able to try to get to those 26 years that he had. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Don Myers, of course, is a legend, not just around here, but of course across the country. But Coach, we appreciate you stopping by, letting us talk to you for a little while. We plan on coming to see you all play at Cumberland this year. And of course, by you having Cam on the team, I'm gonna try to make my way to Henderson, Tennessee, at least a couple of times to check you guys out.
Well, that'd be great. We'd love to have you, Coach Thompson. I'm good friends with Coach Lonnie Thompson there at Cumberland. He's a good guy and been there for a while and does an awful good job. We'll have our hands full to go up there and try to compete with them that night. I know, because they guys play so hard. Lonnie gets guys to play really hard and does a great job getting them to execute also. That's usually a pretty tough combination, and I think it's Dallas Floyd Gymnasium there.
Dallas Floyd. It is Dallas Floyd Gymnasium. We appreciate you, Coach, and going to get on the line right now with Cam Lewis. Of course, he's no stranger to the bench press. Been in studio with us, been on the phone with us. Of course, I followed him around and watched him become an All-American in NIIA, Jason, and just proud of the guy. Of course, he's a John Overton High School graduate. Of course, he went to Fisk University for 3 years. Now he's at Freed-Hardeman. Had 22 points in his first game at Freed. And Cam, man, what's going on?
What's up, Sky? How you doing?
I'm good, man. You already know how proud I am of you, right? I ain't got to go through that little spiel, do I?
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
Cam, how's everything going? I know you talked about. And here's a good thing, Jason and Mike, that you could probably appreciate. Cam told me that there's nothing to do in Henderson, Tennessee, but play basketball and go to school. So he's definitely going to be that's probably why everybody's graduating from Coach Hunt, Cam.
Yes, sir. I think it plays a big part in it.
Well, Cam, you guys have one win under your belt. You got a couple of more games this week. Talk about how excited you are that the season has started and that you had a pretty good start to your season.
And I'm loving it already. Coming into my last preseason, it was bittersweet. Ready to get out because it's preseason, of course, ready for the games, but also that it could be my last year playing ball. But I've really enjoyed myself up here with my teammates, learning the system, just the whole interaction and just the new life now. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and then this on the 11th tomorrow, you're going to be traveling to a place that you've been to before, at least a couple of times in your career, to Talladega. How excited are you about playing that team?
I'm very excited. I haven't won against Talladega
yeah, it
yet.
is.
So I'm ready. I need one against Talladega this year. I think we can pull it off.
Did you tell Coach that you guys were on ESPN because of Talladega last year?
Oh no, I haven't. And I don't want to tell him.
yeah.
If I wanted to guess which guy it would be, there might be a couple down there.
Oh yeah, it was a guy. I forgot his name, but I didn't go to the game, Coach. But he had a dunk that you wouldn't believe. But we tried to. Here's the funny part, Coach, because it was a home game for him. Cam had a dunk against was it Team Voorhees?
Yeah, Voorhees, South Carolina.
And we can't find the tape. We didn't send our guy. They talk about it. I didn't go, but they talk about that dunk he had, and that would have been a highlight reel one too. But somehow that tape got lost, Coach.
That happens sometimes. I'm gonna tell you what, that Peters kid from Talladega is really good.
Yeah.
And he's back this time. It's really interesting. I spent last night watching. We played Talladega in the second round of the national tournament. So that last game they played last year was against us. And so I kind of watched that a little bit in preparation. They've got 3 or 4 guys that are returning and played. But I could tell today when we were going over scouting report on the floor, and I said something about Peters being a really good athlete, or I couldn't remember his name, and Cam, when I went over to get my paper that was sitting there on the bench, he said, Brandon Peters. I said, oh, yeah, that is it. And,
oh, yeah.
And then and talked about him being a good athlete. So, yeah, he probably already knows that a little bit. But, no, that guy's a good player. That'll be, there's always a good matchup in a game. That's the thing about basketball. You feel like there's guys you want to play against and guys that will challenge you and those kind of things, but it's also a team game.
Right.
So that's what will be great tomorrow. Yeah, that's who I'm planning on Cam being matched up with in Garden.
Oh.
But we'll end up switching some things and different guys get matched up in transition. But the good part about it is, it's not just an individual game also.
Right.
That's the beauty of basketball. And there's so many different ways to play. Everybody plays a little bit different. We run a 4-out, 1-in motion and trying to do some things to help Cam be able to come off some screens and maybe be a little more open and him having to create everything himself. And that's been interesting for him. I know he's worked really hard to try to be better at that aspect of his game.
Well,
he's done a great job. Our motion was so good after the first 10 minutes on Saturday, they played zone the rest of the game.
Wow.
So we didn't get to do it anymore. So we don't know. We don't really know how good we were at it, but we'll find out.
Yeah, and Cam's not going to tell you this either. Now, I didn't tell you about that game, but the game that they played against Talladega in Nashville, he dropped 40 on them.
I think I've seen that box before.
Yeah, and I counted them.
Remember, I've been to Fisk a couple times myself.
Yeah, I counted them, so they were all 40 points. I may have missed a couple though. But Cam, you're there. Following behind another All-American NAIA player from last year, and playing. So Coach Shelton knows how to coach good athletes. How important is that role in your maturation playing for Freed Hardeman to have Coach Shelton on your side?
Real big. I think it's helping me with my game also just to actually go back to the fundamentals. I'm working on footwork and pump fakes and stuff that I think, I would probably be fairly decent at. And I think I am, but, it's always little things that you can critique. And with me having Coach Shelton on my side, he's helping me with that and just being an all-around better player to where if I better myself and be more aggressive, I'm just making the guy beside me 10 times better. Right. And so I've seen a lot of growth in myself and my teammates so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
Right now, see, I'm gonna have to talk to the sports information director for Freed Hardeman because they got you listed at 6'1". I thought you was 6'3", man.
6'1", 2, 3, I don't know. Whatever they want me to be out there.
Yeah, Coach, I had to make him look better. I gave him 6'3" during his 3 years at Fitz. So somebody's measuring stick or he shrunk on us. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, he got some.
You never know. Now I don't know. Do you remember seeing a few years ago Liberty Tech out of Jackson?
Yeah.
Won a couple of state championships.
Oh yeah.
And there was a guard that played for them, Anthony Sampson.
Yep.
Who was pretty small. Ant was our point guard here he was here for 5 years. He came in redshirted, and he played with some awful good players on that team. But Ant listed at 5'3". We measured him one time without shoes on, and he was 5'1.5".
Whoa.
And we had him on and that's legitimate. Now, this kid had averaged 8.5 assists a game as a senior. He was unbelievable.
Wow, I remember him.
He was such a good defender of the ball because he was right there where it was bouncing.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, Ant looked at me when we wrote, guy was writing all that stuff down because they measured him without shoes, and they're writing everything down. He comes over to me and he goes, "Hey, Coach," he goes, "I'm going to have that extra 1.5 inches. I've been 5'3" for a long time." And I was like, "All right, Ant, we'll let you stay 5'3", but we all know the truth.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and of course Cam, I talked to Coach. I don't know if you heard it. We're gonna try to take a little contingent over to Cumberland and watch you guys play, man. We're really excited. Coach Tony Thompson and also maybe Jason and the other guys are gonna come see you play, man, and see the team play, and also see you and see Jason Shelton on that sideline. We're really excited about going to Cumberland to see you play.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Y'all should come out.
We will. And again, before you guys go, how excited about? I know you said about playing against Talladega is going to be, but some of the other teams that you played against already, Bethel and some other teams are going to be able to see you again. How excited are you about playing against those teams too, Cam?
It'll be cool. A different look. I'm in a different jersey. Different offense and defensive schemes. So it'll be different. They get a whole new and improved side of Cam. So I'm trying to be everybody's worst nightmare this year.
Well, you were last year too to some teams.
Yes, sir.
But not me though. But not me. I like counting those points. You kept my left hand, going on a scoring and assists and rebounds. So I'm kind of glad I don't have to do that because I got cramps in my hand usually when I do games with you, man.
I'm sure. I don't know about all that, but
well, we appreciate you guys calling in, and Coach, you got a gym over there. I know you do, and we look forward to bigger and better things and another run in the NAIA tournament.
We'll see how it goes. I'm telling you, I'm just proud to have a guy like Cameron in our program.
All right.
We can say all we want to about all the basketball stuff and all those things, and he's a really good player. And I'd say this if he wasn't sitting here, but just the time that I've gotten to be around him, he's a quality young man.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it. We're going to be sure he finishes his degree and gets everything that he needs to get done there. If he gets an opportunity to play ball after, that'll be great too. But one thing he's going to leave here with is a degree. He ain't going to be number 3, I can tell you that.
There you go.
He ain't going to be the third guy to leave here without one. I'm going to make sure of that. I told his mom we're going to be sure that happens.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
We're going to work towards that and be sure that happens. Hopefully, plan is if everything goes as planned by next year Christmas time. So.
All right, and I was going to say, I know his mom's not going to let that happen either, so you got to worry about that.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. All right, Cam, man. We proud of you, man. You keep doing what you're doing. Keep making me proud, brother.
All right. Appreciate it, Scott. I'll keep in contact.
All right, man. That's Coach Jason Shelton from Freed Hardeman, and also Cameron Lewis from, of course, he used to play for Frisk, and now my phone's ringing. Let me turn that off.
Somebody else trying to get on the show?
Yeah, I guess so. Somebody else tried to get on the show, but at the end of the show, we about 2 minutes in, about a minute away, and we appreciate it. There is somebody trying to get us. Chad Wilson calling now.
Too late.
We appreciate everybody who called in. We appreciate Mike showing up, man. We appreciate you coming by.
No problem.
Theme music for you next time.
Theme music for you next time. Of course, Jason Sales in the house. What else we forgetting? Facebook.
Oh yeah, WTN Tribune Sports, WTN Tribune Radio, Tennessee Tribune. All that good stuff.
Yeah, nice. Now I got some theme music. You hear that?
Yeah, I'm all right with this.
Yeah, we are. I like this. All right, we're going to see you guys next week, of course. Nice week of basketball this week and football, so get your sports on. We'll talk to you next week, and we're out.
We're out.